Today, we are diving into a true culinary marvel, the tong bao. You probably know it as the soup dumpling. It's this perfect, delicate little package that holds a delicious secret, hot soup. And honestly, it seems like it should be impossible. So let's just get right to the big mystery, right? It's the question that's on everyone's mind. How in the world do they get hot, liquid soup inside a perfectly sealed, paper-thin dumpling wrapper? It seems to defy all logic. But stick around, because we're going to break down exactly how it's done. All right, first up, a delicious mystery. Before we can solve this thing, we've got to properly meet the star of our show, the tong bao, and really understand what makes it so special. I mean, just look at the incredible craftsmanship here. The wrapper is so thin you can practically see through it, but it's still strong enough to hold that big, juicy filling. And get this, it's sealed with almost 20 perfect, tiny little pleats. Then it's served steaming hot, usually with a sharp dipping sauce. It's a total work of art. But here's where things get a little tricky. As amazing as the tong bao is, it suffers from a serious case of mistaken identity. It gets mixed up with another dumpling all the time, and knowing the difference is actually key to appreciating what makes a real soup dumpling so unique. And that brings us to our next section, tang bao versus xiaolong bao. Let's call it a tale of two dumplings. It's time to clear up the confusion once and for all and really pinpoint what sets them apart. Okay, here it is, the main difference. On the left, with the tong bao, it is all about that hidden treasure of hot, liquid soup. That is the main event. Now, on the right, you have the xiaolong bao. It's more like a mini steamed bun. The wrapper is thicker, doughier, and while it might be juicy, it doesn't have that rush of pure soup inside. It's that huge amount of soup that really defines the tong bao. And this confusion is everywhere. Seriously, it's so common that you might order one and get served the other without even realizing it. So, knowing the difference isn't just for food nerds, it helps you get exactly what you're craving. All right, now for the part you've all been waiting for. Section 3, the secret in the soup. This is where we reveal the culinary magic. We've defined what a tang bao is, we've cleared up the confusion, now it's time to pull back the curtain. So what is the brilliant secret? How do they do it? It's not some kind of kitchen sorcery, and they're not injecting it with a tiny needle. The answer is actually an incredible piece of food science. The secret is one simple word, aspic. So what on earth is aspic? Well, it's just a rich chicken or pork stock that's been chilled until it turns into a solid, savory jelly. This little block of gelatin is the entire key to the whole mystery. It's genius. And the process is so clever. First, you make a really rich, flavorful stock. Then you chill that stock until it sets into that solid aspic. Now here's the magic trick. You chop up that solid aspic into little cubes and mix it right into the meat filling. Once the dumpling is all wrapped up, you steam it. The heat melts the aspic, turning it right back into that amazing hot soup, now perfectly trapped inside. So, now that we get the science, let's take a little trip back in time. Section 4, a taste of history. We're going to see how this thing went from a simple bun to a modern marvel, because this technique didn't just appear overnight. The journey starts way back, over 1,000 years ago in China's northern Song dynasty. Back then, it was just a simple stuffed bun, but over centuries, chefs kept refining it, perfecting that impossibly thin wrapper that could hold the soupy secret. And from those ancient beginnings, it evolved into the global favorite we all know and love today. And that brings us right up to the present day in our final section, the modern dumpling, where all that amazing tradition meets incredible innovation. Because this dish is anything but stuck in the past. You know that classic formula, the aspic, the delicate wrapper, it hasn't been forgotten. Instead, it's become this amazing foundation, a trusted platform that chefs are using for this explosion of new flavors and ideas. And what a world of flavors it is! I mean, beyond the classic pork, you can now find tong bao stuffed with shrimp, rich crab, or even some amazing vegetarian options. And if you're feeling really adventurous, some places are even making dessert versions with sweet fillings like red bean paste. The possibilities are just getting bigger and bigger. And this really says it all, doesn't it? There's just so much excitement around the modern tong bao. It's a dish with a deep, rich history that's still being written, with fantastic new flavors popping up all the time for us to go out and discover. So, after all that, it really just boils down to this. A super clever, simple bit of science, turning a liquid into a solid and then back into a liquid
is the engine behind one of the most magical and beloved food experiences you can have.
And that's the thought I really want to leave you with. The next time you sit down to a basket of these, are you just going to see a tasty snack? Or will you see a little masterpiece of history, science, and craftsmanship? The answer, of course, is that it's all of those things, wrapped up in one perfect, delicious bite.